everyone, and welcome to your favorite podcast, Spilling the Tea Leaves. My name is Michelle, and you can find me at rememberlovehealing.com, and you can also find me on Instagram at rememberlove. Spilling the Tea Leaves is a spiritually empowering podcast where I hope to give you the tools to have the freedom to explore your mind, body, and soul and the connection, and have the freedom to follow your own spiritual path. So, as you know, we are on our chakra series, and today we are going to focus on a chakra that is very, very important. And it's probably the one that is the most off balance for many people. I could say it's true for about 80 to 90% of my clients. The solar plexus chakra is the one that is always off balance. But before we get started, I want to go ahead and do an oracle card pull and see what the universe has as a message for us. So as usual, I'm going to knock on my deck 3 times, close my eyes, and pick a card at random. Let's see. And the message is from before I start, this is my Angel Gemstone Oracle deck cards by, I always want to give full credit, Margaret Ann Lembo and Victoria Rose Martin. And these are cool little cards because they just give you a crystal recommendation, a message that comes with the crystal, and an affirmation at the end. So this card is tabular quartz. Do people listen when you speak? Do you feel like you're not being heard? Know exactly what you wish to communicate? Use telepathy to convey your message through visualization and imagination. Send mental pictures as you speak, heart to heart, mind to mind. And the affirmation in the back, it is the angel of telepathy. It says, when I speak, people listen and understand what I am expressing. I communicate from my heart to the hearts of others. I easily visualize and send mental pictures of my ideas, visions, opinions, and other matters of importance as I speak. So I hope that message means something to you. I know it definitely does to me. And it's kind of good, perfect, because it does go very well with our topic this week, the solar plexus. Now, the solar plexus is your third chakra. It is located in the upper part of your tummy, or right below the sternum, or where your xiphoid ends, really, where your diaphragm rests. If you have the ability to now, if you cross your arms in front of your chest, like pretend you're really, really mad, and sit your arms across your chest, and that's usually where your solar plexus is. And we as humans tend to do that arm crossing thing a lot, and that does go hand in hand with our solar plexus energy, which I'll explain a little bit later. Visually, the visual representation of the solar plexus chakra is a circle with 10 lotus petals and an upside down triangle in the middle of the circle. In Sanskrit, the translation is Manipura, which translates to lustrous gem. The element is fire. The color is yellow, and the corresponding syllable or mantra is Ram, R-A-M. Now, the solar plexus is basically your engine room. When it is balanced, it shines brightly like the sun. So when we find those people that are so absolutely charming and they seem so confident and like they're untouchable and they communicate clearly and they express themselves, those are people whose solar plexus is just open and in harmony and vibrating right. So those are always the people that we are attracted to. Like they have this like magnetism that pulls us towards them. Your solar plexus is that fire. It's that fire that ignites your engines, and fire is transformative. Fire turns water to steam. Fire burns wood, turning it into ashes. It's that change, it's that energy that we use to make our ideas come to life. Now, fire rises as opposed to your other two lower chakras where your earth is in the ground on the bottom, obviously, and water runs down. Fire rises. It is the gateway to the heart chakra. This is your power. This is where your sense of power comes from. It's being confident. It also represents your ability to be responsible and reliable. We know those flaky people. We know those people that you cannot count on them for a favor, or even when you can count on them, they flake out at you at the last minute. We know those people. And to be clear, your solar plexus, there is like this pendulum swing to it. So you are constantly going between both extremes when it is not in harmony. You go from somebody who overcommits to somebody who is completely unreliable. You go with somebody who has very high self-esteem, but absolutely no self-discipline. And these are all related to that energy center, to your solar plexus. This is also the ability to face our problems head on. When your solar plexus is balanced and it's in harmony, this energy center allows you to meet your challenges head on, to take a proactive approach versus a reactive or an inactive approach. And we've all been in those situations. We all know that if we don't plan ahead, we are going to be stuck in a problem where we are going to do damage control. And somebody who is constantly doing damage control is someone who is not balanced in the solar plexus area. A balanced solar plexus is also somebody who is highly responsible, somebody that you can trust, and somebody who it just is a generally reliable person. You know they are going to get the job done. You know the the phrase turning lemons into lemonade. This is that person. This is the person that if presented to with a bad situation, they are going to take the initiative and they're going to fix the problem and take care of it as quickly as possible. For those who have a balanced solar plexus, they are the type of person who rather will find a way to heal themselves instead of blaming other people for their shortcomings or handing their power to other people. So these are people who they generally, instead of saying that they take responsibility for making a mistake, their initial reaction would be, well, if so-and-so hadn't done X, Y, and Z, then I wouldn't even have to be here. Or I would have never made that mistake if my husband did the bed this morning. So they're very quick to point the finger at somebody else instead of taking responsibility themselves. Now, this is also a person who has low self-esteem. And a lot of the times, low self-esteem stems from childhood memories, childhood traumas. So a child who was bullied as a kid or grew up with controlling parents already start off with low self-esteem, but then they try to recreate that environment because that usually ends up being what they know. So they seek out partners who are controlling, or they seek out friendships that are not reciprocated. So somebody who is constantly somebody who's constantly asking for favors, and they are not available for you when you have a problem. The major organs are connected to this chakra as well. So you have your stomach, your spleen, your pancreas, your kidneys, your liver, your gallbladder. A sluggish or slow or even an overactive solar plexus after a while translates into physical disease. Now, this is the solar plexus this is the chakra that I always have problems with. And it truly, for me, it is that extreme end to end. So Last year I had gallbladder surgery. So this is a total physical manifestation of the issues that I'm already having. When I had gallbladder surgery, I was going through some major changes with my business. And now I also was pre-diabetic. I'm no longer diabetic or pre-diabetic. I've taken care of all my health issues and I've taken care of myself, and I'm fully aware of when I am not in harmony. But these are physical manifestations of a at an that are that start at an energetic level. And the solar plexus is that one chakra where I'm just, if I can just get this taken care of, it would be awesome. A person who is balanced in this area, like I said, is able to face their problems head on instead of shying away from it or avoiding it. So, if your solar plexus is already out of whack and now you are having these physical manifestation of these problems, those are people that you need to push. I was in so much pain, and I'm like, no, 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 I'm fine. I was shying away from it. I was hoping if I just close my eyes long enough, or if I lay in a fetal position long enough, the problem will go away. And it didn't. I ended up needing emergency surgery. But when you see those people that need that extra push, if you are fully aware what is happening, please push these individuals, because we are stubborn, we are dig our heels in the ground, and we would try to avoid the problem as much as humanly possible. Now, your solar plexus also is contributed to having a hard time expressing yourself. So we have a lot of difficulty showing our true feelings, expressing our true feelings. These are people that are commonly called people pleasers. We just want to make everybody happy, even if it's at our own expense. And what are we doing? We are trapping that energy. We're trapping those feelings, and they form this sort of knot in your energetic space, and we have problems expressing ourselves, and it's just going to continue layering on top of each other. We won't be able to express ourselves. We don't want to make somebody upset, but then when they can't read our minds and know that's not really what we want to do, then we get mad at the person, but then we still don't tell them, and it's just this vicious cycle that we, as energetic beings, as people who need to learn to love ourselves first, have to get out of. And acknowledging a solar plexus issue or problem in that chakra area, and knowing that expressing ourselves is a way to free ourselves of this cycle, is something that we need to be fully consciously aware of. Now, a capacity for self-forgiveness is also associated with this area. We have a really, and when I say we, of course I'm including myself here, because this is frequently a space where I have problems with. And like I said, everybody's going to have problems with this area, especially if you're somebody who, business owners have problems with the area. They go from to overactive. Head of households sometimes have a lot of issues with this area, because they are generally trying to do what's best for their family at the sacrifice of themselves. So it starts dimming that light, dimming that fire, dimming that energy that we use to move forward, especially move forward in our dreams. Now, the capacity for self-forgiveness is a big, big one, and it's one that is most often found for those in the New Age community, where we are so hung up on our traumas that we wear it like a badge. And many of us, though, will say, yeah, it's fine, it's okay, I did it, it happened, and move forward. We get really hung up on the minutia. We get really hung up on what happened, how you felt, how the other person felt, the circumstances that got you there, the repercussions of what happened afterwards. And we look at this event in such a judgmental manner, in such a critical manner, that it's really, really difficult for us to step back and say, you know what? I forgive myself. This is something that happened. I am going to move forward and I am going to be the best version of myself that I can be. That's solar plexus energy. That is solar plexus energy. That is energy. That is that fire igniting, that's adding fuel to that fire so you can progress and move forward in your spiritual and your earthly journey. Self discipline, independence is a big one here. When you take back your power from other people, you become more independent. You rely on yourself and you rely on your judgment calls and on your decisions instead of relying on other people. Instead of throttling your progress based on other people's speed, if that makes sense. Those who are not balanced in the solar plexus area also have a lack of life purpose, and they don't respond to criticism from other people at all. As a matter of fact, they hate it. They hate to be criticized. So to give you an example, if I can say that my solar plexus is off balance, it's usually on the sluggish side. While my partner, my husband's solar plexus is usually so overactive, and we are two extremes. Two extremes in the same household, which makes for an interesting dynamic. And I love him to death. He's an amazing person, an amazing human. And I try to take a lot of lessons from him. So, for example, if we are out to dinner or we're going to go grab a coffee and I order something, let's say I order a skinny drink, milk, skim milk, and they screw it up. I mean, I'm not allergic to it. Nobody's dying. It's okay. I don't really want them to make another drink. I just want to leave. So I just say, oh, they messed up my drink. You know what? It's fine. No big deal. It's just different milk. My husband would stop the traffic, run to the cafe, and demand his coffee be fixed immediately, because that is what he wants. He doesn't care if people's feelings are going to hurt. He's not big on if they're going to take it off the employee's paycheck. That's not what he wanted. That's not what he's going to get. He's confident enough to speak his mind, to speak his truth, to say, this is not what I wanted. While me, I will tend to shy away and say, you know what, it's fine. I don't want to get in trouble. It's okay. I don't need it. He doesn't rely on other people's opinions for validation. He is a mountain, while I am a people pleaser. Oh, do they like me? Do you think I said that in a wrong way? Do you think they're going to be insulted if I said that? So he's gotten in trouble for his mouth, while I have been stepped on several times. So you can kind of gauge where the happy balance is. The happy balance is being diplomatic. It's expressing yourself in a clear manner, but not offending. There's a phrase that I want to say. What is it? I can't remember. If I remember during this episode, I will share it with you. So hanging on to past mistakes, forgiving yourself, being loving to yourself. When you think of an instance in the past that you regret, or that has a negative energy or a negative feeling towards the situation, learn how to see it from a loving and forgiving manner. Being able to see the big picture is important with this chakra. Accepting help from others is very, very important to keep this balance and to keep this chakra in check. We are, again, I'm going to include myself here because I do this a lot. I'm exposing myself here on the solar plexus episode. So I am the type of person who my calling is helping. My calling is giving people the ability to be spiritually empowered, to be energetically balanced, to explore the mind, body, soul connection. That's what my calling is. I feel like the world will be a much better place if we are complete and whole beings in all aspects of life. That's my calling. So I like to help people. I enjoy helping people discover that side of themselves. I love watching somebody say, "Oh my God, I meditated last night and it was absolutely amazing." Or, "I spoke to this person that you recommended and she blew my mind. She recommended things or said things that I had no idea. I'm putting it in practice, or I'm eating healthier," whatever. It really, really fills my soul. I like helping people, but I have a really, really, really hard time asking for help. And I just do. I have a very difficult time asking for help. And when I do have that inclination to ask for help, it's always, I always feel like I am not worthy to receive it. So if I say, "Hey, I need help with some editing," "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if you're busy. I totally understand if you can't do it. I get it. I'm sorry. You know what? Forget the whole thing. Forget the whole thing. I never said anything. Just don't even look at me. I'm sorry. I'm not worthy of your help." Which is completely unfair because it says a lot of things about me. It says that I feel like I'm not worthy, or I am not as important as the other person. So that's a self-confidence, self-esteem issue. And it says that I have to help the person. I don't think that they are going to be as helpful as I would be to them, if that makes sense. So, and of course they're always willing to help. And of course people will bend over backwards and help you as much as you're willing to help them, but we don't even give them that chance. We don't even give them that opportunity or extend that opportunity to help us grow. And so somebody who really has a big problem asking for help has a very sluggish sacral solar plexus. I'm sorry if I keep saying sacral for some reason. Solar plexus chakra. So if you're like me, we need help, guys. We need help. We need to fix this. We got things. We need crystals. We need healthy foods. We need affirmation. So stand by. It is coming. It's coming. I'm going to take a really, really quick break. And when I come back, I'm going to explain the crossing the arms at your solar plexus. There is a meaning behind that, I promise you. And we'll talk about crystals and herbs and all that fun stuff. So I'll be right back. Hey, it's Michelle again. If you're anything like me, you're always looking to improve yourself and fill your brain with all the information. One of my favorite ways to do this is through Skillshare. Skillshare is one of my favorite places on the internet. So much so that they've made me an ambassador. I know, right? Skillshare is a website where there are literally thousands of classes from photography to blogging, cooking and animation, and everything in between. Right now, I'm actually taking a class on social media because, hey, you got to spread the word, right? Use link skl.sh/rememberlove and get 2 months free just to try it out. Again, it's skl.sh/rememberlove. And don't forget, when you support one of our sponsors, you also support this podcast. And for that, I thank you. All right, now back to the episode. Welcome back. So how do we get this solar plexus jamming, flowing, on fire? How do we get it to ignite our engines? How do we use it to help pursue our passions, our higher calling? We all know that person who is in a job that they absolutely hate. They hate their job. They hate the people they work with. They hate the tasks that they have to do. They hate it. But they don't want to move. The fear of going into the unknown is bigger than the fear of staying in something that they dislike and staying for a job for 20 years because of the potential retirement. This is a major solar plexus issue, because your solar plexus also represents your need to express your life's mission, your life's purpose, your dreams. It's putting that idea into action. It is that action idea. It's putting that idea into action. It's making those dreams come true. It's wanting to open your restaurant. It's wanting to write that book. It's wanting to travel the world. It's wanting to take even a vacation or go to that country that you've never visited to, that you always love the culture and you want to see it. It's those things. It's putting those ideas into action. It's the creation of your sacral chakra, and the solar plexus chakra is putting it into action. So for those who are business owners, this is when you had that idea, when you started your business, when you spent sleepless nights trying to figure out how to make it. This is your solar plexus in action. I started Remember Love with $20 and an internet connection. And trust me when I say there was always a struggle. I love my business. I love what I do. And I'm sure that's what keeps my solar plexus from not completely going out on me. So yes, solar plexus is that action. It's that idea from your sacral and putting it into action, into physical manifestation. Now, I don't remember if I saw this when I was younger, if I was told about it, if even my mom told me about it, which I feel was really progressive back in the early 90s. But this is a fact that I've always known. And for those of you, and I do this a lot, that cross your arms in front of your chest, or when you are speaking to somebody, you just tend to immediately cross your arms. You're not mad at the person. The person hasn't done anything to displease you, or maybe they have. But we tend to, when we cross our arms, we're doing one of several things. We're protecting, our own energy. We're protecting our own energy, that little fire that we have left for those who have a sluggish solar plexus. We are protecting our energy. We are keeping it safe. We are just keeping it as warm as possible because we don't want it to leave. We are also protecting ourselves from the energy of the other person. Sometimes their particular vibrations don't mesh well with ours, so we protect ourselves. This is especially true for empaths, by the way. When we connect with somebody or we speak to somebody, we immediately form these energetic cords, energetic strings, energetic bonds. And when we connect with somebody, an empath has the ability to do this almost immediately. That's why it's so draining for a lot of us when we have extended time with the outside population. When we make this connection with the person, sometimes it is a two-way street where we give energy and we receive energy. Maybe their energy is not as well lit as ours, but there is that connection. And when you cross your arms in front of you, you're creating a physical barrier from making that bond with that person. There are other times where that person is what we commonly call an energetic vampire. And that energetic vampire just takes. They are a draining individual. And while we do connect in other areas of the body, the solar plexus is the main big cord, the one that we connect to almost instantly and the strongest. And we don't do cord cutting techniques throughout the week, throughout the day. If you need it daily, if you need it whenever, we tend to continue to stay connected to this person. And this person drains our energy. So drains our life force, not life force, drains our fire, or dims our fire. And so if you find yourself constantly crossing your arms in front of your chest or in front of that area, you really have to ask yourself, is it something that am I worried about this person? Am I not liking their energy? Am I just protecting my own energy? Is there also something that you don't want to say or you don't want to express? Are you hiding your true feelings? So when you're talking to somebody and they're confronting you, let's say, and you just cross your arms, immediately just cross your arms. Sometimes it's us not expressing our true feelings, and we have to be very mindful of that. In the 1800s, women wore long medallions about 2 to 3 inches in diameter, and they landed perfectly on the solar plexus. Again, same idea. Protect your energy, create that physical barrier. So what can we do to keep it in balance? What can we do to keep your solar plexus in check, in harmony, happy, flowing, vibrating, on fire, lighting our engines? What can we fix it? How can we fix it? How can we help? So of course, crystals, ha ha ha, we love crystals, or I love crystals. We have a few options. There's actually a lot of options. I usually just mention five or four to get you started. But if you, any quick Google search will yield other options as well. Citrine is one, and citrine I've mentioned in the previous podcast. Citrine works with all your three lower chakra. It supports it. It helps in manifestation. It helps with our willpower and activates the thinking process. So it also provides mental clarity. It opens up for new ideas and putting those new ideas into action. So again, sacral chakra energy into solar plexus and pushing it out, pushing that idea out so we can act on it. Golden labradorite, which provides inner strength, vitality, courage. It helps us realize our spiritual purpose, what our spirit is yearning for, what our spirit is here on this earthly plane for, to remember, to put together, to relearn is a better term. So what is that lesson, or what is it that your spirit is here to do or to accomplish? The golden labradorite also helps us in dreaming, and in dreaming it allows us to retain important information from our dreams and bring that down into our daily living. Malachite is a big one as well. Malachite is a green stone, or darker green stone, with these beautiful like minty swirls. Be mindful of malachite because there is a lot of fakes, especially from China. And if you look at them, they almost look like clay. And real malachite has natural inclusions and natural swirls. You can clearly see the difference between the two. But malachite also does offer protection on a psychic level. So it creates almost like a shield or a psychic radar almost to keep those energy vampires and those negative energies away and protect your solar plexus. It helps again in manifestation and maintaining emotional balance. Your solar plexus is the gateway to the heart. So it helps keep that area in check and in balance. For those who are looking to manifest abundance and putting those ideas into actions that will help create abundance, I recommend placing a piece of malachite in your wallet, or even a piece of pyrite, or both is even better, to help manifest the abundance. Malachite also helps with enhancing willpower. Gold is another one. Although gold is not a crystal, it does stimulate your lower chakras, and it encourages positive participation in life. It gives you that fire, that sun, that bright, lustrous gem, and it ignites your solar plexus. Amber is another one that is not a crystal, but it does also offer energetic protection from negative influences, and it provides warmth like the sun. Pyrite protects you from negativity, also helps with that manifestation and raise positive attitude, mental clarity, provides courage and the ability to create new ideas. Spinel offers also self-transformation. Yellow sapphire, yellow tourmaline, yellow, yellow, yellow. So those are a few crystals that can help balance your solar plexus. How do you use crystals? I got this question last week. You can use crystals in several ways. You can meditate with crystals. You can wear your crystals. You can place your crystals next to your bed in order to receive the energy while you're sleeping. You can keep it in your pocket, in your bag. A lot of women like to put them in their bras. I always say be careful with that because once you take it off at the end of the day, I have had crystals just shatter all over my bathroom floor. So there's also placing crystals in certain areas of your home, working with crystals during Reiki, just laying crystals on your body. There are crystal elixirs as well. I'm going to do an episode on crystals and elixirs and things like that because there are some crystals that are safe to put in water and there are crystals that are not safe. Malachite is one that's not safe. A labradorite is one that will not necessarily disintegrate, but definitely it will not look the same once it comes out if it's in there for too long. Pyrite is another one that definitely shouldn't go in water. So yeah, there are options for crystals and how to use them and how to carry them in your everyday life. Essential oils and herbs. Again, essential oils, be really, really careful with essential oils. There's some that are not suitable for your skin. There's others that you shouldn't diffuse around animals. I like certain oils. I use lavender to help me and my daughter sleep. But just be very mindful. Don't listen to your a local young living dealer because they are as informed as they may be, they may not have the full information, unfortunately. No offense to my young living followers. So cinnamon is one, ginger. A lot of these you can cook with, so if you can cook with them, even better. Cinnamon, ginger, saffron, turmeric, grapefruit, lemon, lemongrass. And this was surprising to me, peppermint and spearmint is good for your solar plexus energy. Mandarins and chamomile tea. Honey, actually, no, not honey. Sandalwood and geranium are really good oils to have. I love geraniums. I love the way they smell. I do have an essential oil. Actually, I need to buy some more, but it's wonderful and it has a really, really soft scent that I absolutely adore. If you're meditating, if your point is to meditate to get your sacral, excuse me, your, why do I keep saying sacral? Your solar plexus in balance. Imagine sitting and imagine a golden, bright, golden, warm light entering your solar plexus area and just have it sit there like a hot compress and just giving you that warmth and igniting that fire. And just imagine that ball getting bigger and bigger and bigger and encompassing yourself in a golden, warm light. That's really going to get that solar plexus energy moving and going. Foods as well, like I mentioned before, ginger and saffron, yellow pepper, corn. One thing that did come up and I thought it was very, very interesting is complex carbs. Yeah, complex carbs. So, which makes sense because that area is ruled. You have your pancreas in that area. What you're trying to avoid is sugar spikes. And you should be cutting back on sugar, avoiding that sugar spike. And the way to do that is with complex carbs, whole grains, brown rice, cereals, those real healthy, slow moving foods to help you keep that area in balance and in health. For my yogis, there is a pose that helps ignite that area, and that is your child's pose. For those of you who aren't familiar with child's pose, you can Google it, or you can sit on your knees and move your torso forward so it's almost laying between your knees and just staying there and just moving that energy, breathing in deep, breathing in through that solar plexus to help you activate that area, especially if it's underactive. Now, before I start the affirmations, if you're listening to this and wondering, maybe my solar plexus could use a little tune-up, I want you to ask yourself these questions, and these will give you a good gauge whether you can, you should check in regardless on a regular, but this will give you a better idea of whether or not it could use a little more attention. Do you have suppressed anger, fear, or grief? Do you feel that you hold on to resentments? Do you feel like you cannot forget that wrong that person did to you 20 years ago? And I'm speaking to those who have had child trauma. I'm one of them. It's really difficult for me to say that word forgiveness. I've thought I've said it, but it has not. Saying it and acting on it are two different things, especially if you continuously go back for it and not see it from a point of forgiveness or love or understanding. Sometimes it's a lot easier just to let it go than to keep holding on to it. Are you jealous of others? Do you think the grass is greener somewhere else? Are you constantly saying if somebody else has it better? Do you worry that others will overpower you? Are you a control freak? Do you have to win? Do you have the constant need to be right? Are you Mr. or Mrs. Google? Are you that person that's an let me check. I don't believe you. I gotta check. Do you often stand with your arms crossed in front of your chest? Do you feel good about yourself only when you receive outside approval? Do you look for that outside validation? Do you look for somebody to tell you, oh, wow, you did a really good job? Instead of giving yourself that compliment. When was the last time you even gave yourself a compliment? Do you accept personal responsibility? Do you have self-discipline, confidence, energy? Does this describe, if you said no, yes, if you've answered these questions and you're like, you know what, yeah, I do look for that constant outside validation. I really haven't given myself a compliment in a while. Is this you? If it is, I really want you to hone in on this area and I want you to focus on it. Again, this is the area that gives people so much problems. This is the area that is so dimly lit. And we live in a society where if we don't get that outside approval, if we don't get those likes on Instagram, if you don't get those comments on Facebook, are you important? Do you matter? The answer is yes. But social media, the internet has made it so that we're able to put our lives out there so much more. And if we don't receive that almost instant gratification, a lot of us lose our mental capacities. We feel like we're not good enough or we're not worthy, and all those hits to us, our little light starts dimming lower and lower and lower again. So don't look for outside validation. Know that you are fully capable, that you are worthy, and you can do it. You got this. You have no idea how much you got this. And if you don't think you got this, you can send me a message. You can email me so I can tell you how much you got this, because I know you do. So if you need an affirmation to let you know how much you got this, I am worthy and capable, because yes, you are. You are worthy and capable, and you have this. You make your own decisions. Don't rely on other people to make decisions for you. Don't throttle yourself. And this is something that my beautiful friend Nancy over at Astrology Angel Mediums reminded me of a couple of weeks ago. Don't slow yourself down to match somebody else's speed. You don't need, if you need to leave somebody behind, and I'm not talking about if they're injured, obviously we're going to pick them up. But I'm saying if they are not there in their spiritual journey, there is no need for you to slow yourself down in order for you not to outshine them. They're just not there yet, but you need to continue to grow and progress. Everything's a progress. Keep going. Don't slow down if you don't need to. Just go. You don't control everything. I wish I did. I wish you did. I wish somebody did. But we don't control everything, and that's okay. You are confident and you are strong. I am confident and I am strong. Worrying is a waste of energy and emotion. There's no need to worry. I forgive myself. Oh my goodness. Please say this one over and over and over again. If you are stuck in a situation where you're constantly living a negative or an event that didn't go your way, forgive yourself. It happened, let it go. You can't repeat it. It's just gone. Move forward and move on to the next phase of your journey. And my absolute favorite one is I love myself. And I hope that you can say that right now. Just take a quick second. If you can say it out loud, say it out loud. If you need to say it in your mind, say it in your mind. Say, I love myself. If you need to say it again, say it again. I love myself. You are a wonderful being. You are a creator. You matter. Love yourself. You matter. You are here for a purpose. If you need to say this throughout the day, if you're feeling down, and just say it. Say it over and over and over again. Give yourself that energy and give yourself that love. One other technique that really helps or can help is if you look yourself in the mirror, or even when you're laying down at the end of the bed, at the end of the day, or while you're taking a shower, whatever, wherever you have those extra 5 seconds, I want you to name 5 things that you did really, really well today, or 5 things you really love about yourself. And do this every day. And it could be small. For example, today I'm having a really good hair day. I did a really, really good job putting that gel in my hair so it's not too sticky and it's not too crunchy and it's not too soft. I made a really, really good dinner last night that my family loved. I love that I am kind and I'm helpful. I love that I was able to save $10 at the grocery store with my coupon. It could be anything. I love that my daughter has the ability to be kind to others. I love that I rescued a kitty outside of my door. I love that I can garden well. I love that I am putting myself out there on a podcast. I love that I can have a couple hours during the day of peace and quiet while everybody is away at school or in the office. It could be absolutely anything. Anything. If you love the way your toes came out after you did your manicure, if you love that you said hello to a stranger today, if you love that you just stepped out of the house, or that you got out of bed, or that you took a shower, did you brush your teeth, whatever. Start as small as you need to and grow from there. But I really want you to focus and say these 5 things every day and watch how stuff's just going to move. Shit's going to move for you. Things are going to progress. But you really have to start working on yourself and show yourself love first and forgiveness in order for your healing to begin. And I think that's a good space to end today's episode. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here. I absolutely love that you show up and support. I absolutely love that you are working on yourself and working on your spiritual healing and becoming spiritually empowered. Thank you. Thank you. Again, my name is Michelle. You can find me online at Remember Love Healing, or you can find me, rememberlovehealing.com, or you can find me on Instagram at Remember Love. You can also find, we have Patreon now. Yay! So you can support as little as $1, as much as 100, which gets you a private reading and phone call from me. Whatever you can support with, any little bit helps. And I thank every single one of you for listening to our sponsors. Everything goes back into the podcast so I can continue making episodes. And after our chakra series is done, we are going to start interviews. I have so many amazing people lined up. It's mind-blowing, and it's going to give us a different perspective of things that I am not fully familiar with or I'm trying to learn. So it's really, really going to help us explore other venues and explore other energies. So I'm super, super, super excited about that. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you all next time. Love and light.